Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day has gone fantastically well as well. It's a pleasure for me to be joining you today on the 27th of August. Oh, sorry about that. 2026, 27th of August. You would have heard some echo going on there. Well, I've been wanting to do this for the last couple of hours, and I don't know why, but I'm here later than I wanted to be, but I'm here now. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here, and it's even more of a pleasure if you're joining me live. And I'm always happy when I get live viewers. So this is a welcome for everybody, live, watching the recording or anything like that. Okay. It's a bit lower than what it was the other day. Okay. Oh, I know why that is. Yeah, cool. Right. Well, I'm here to read Leviticus. Well, we're steaming through Leviticus. You know, we're in the third book out of 5 so far. So I think we're doing great. I mean, the objective is to get this done by the end of the year. Okay, and when I do my show tomorrow, we'll be on target for that. And this won't be the last show for the year. Or this series won't be the last show for the year. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But we're kind of nicely working our way through Leviticus. And if you've been here from the start, you would have joined me when I started on Genesis. We're just going through the first 5 books. So, this was like back in December last year. No, November last year, actually, towards the end of November last year, yeah. Obviously, keep saying that word, obviously. It doesn't take 1 year to read 5 books of the Bible. But I tell you something, I have learnt personally so much, you know, from the word, from speaking to people, from live streaming to operating the equipment. And most importantly, when I've sat back and thought about the word, it's brought new dimensions to my way of thinking. And I've discovered things that I hadn't considered before, you know. And for me, that's the most important thing. You know, I'm understanding the Bible better than I did previously, just by going through the book with you and answering the questions and thinking over things for myself. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I'll share with you what I discovered on Saturday. One of the commandments, for me, it was an achievement, actually, because it was a point that I had been thinking about, but I was able to work it through my head, which was amazing. So why don't we just because I gave like a 3-minute kind of like warm-up start. So I think whoever's going to be here is here with us so far live. And I'm welcoming my viewers on Rumble and my viewers on Twitch, and still awaiting somebody to tune in from YouTube. But YouTube doesn't show me love. My love is shown from the viewers on Twitch and on Rumble, and I really appreciate that, and I thank you for joining me. But we're going to roll straight into Leviticus chapter 17, and we're reading 4 chapters today, 17 to 20. And I think they're going to be quite interesting. So, usual, as I said in my last stream, I've moved from the the ESV, the English Standard Version, to the World English Bible. The reason being is that I did not consider the copyright on the ESV properly. I had read it, but I didn't interpret it properly. So when I read it again last week, and I thought, hang on a minute, I think I breached their copyright. And I did. I have done. So I've stopped using that now. I'm a small streamer, content creator. I'm not doing it for any profit. So I'm hoping that doesn't affect the previous shows that I've done. But now I've switched to the World English Bible, which is a copyright-free Bible in English that we all understand. I love the King James Version, but it's in Old English. And I'd rather read a version in English that we can all understand because it's a modern day translation. So just to make you aware. So this is what we're reading now, the World English Bible version, which is an okay translation. It's not perfect, but out of all the free versions or copyright-free versions of the Bible that are present day, even because I'm broadcasting from the UK. So the King James Version, although there's no copyright for it in the rest of the world, there is in the UK. So technically I can't use that version to do what I'm doing now. And I wouldn't have it in the first place, but the Bible's versions are copyrighted, most of them. So that's just something one needs to take into consideration. So, chapter 17, Leviticus. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, this is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Whatever man there is of the house of Israel who kills a bull or lamb or goat in the camp, or who kills it outside the camp and hasn't brought it to the door of the tent of meeting to offer it as an offering to the Lord before the Lord's tabernacle, blood shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood. That man shall be cut off from amongst his people. This is to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices, which they sacrifice in the open field, that they may bring them to the Lord, to the door of tent of meeting, to the priest, and sacrifice them for sacrifices of peace offering to the Lord. The priest shall sprinkle the blood on the Lord's altar at the door of the tent of meeting, and burn the fat for a pleasant aroma to the Lord. They shall no more sacrifice their sacrifices to the goat idols, after which they play the prostitute. This shall be a statute forever to them throughout their generations. You shall say to them, any man that there is of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who live as foreigners amongst them, who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice and doesn't bring it to the door of the tent of meeting to sacrifice it to the Lord, that man shall be cut off from his people. Right, the main reason for this is because the Israelites have just left Egypt and they were there for 400 years. It's quite a number of generations, just over 400 years. Quite a number of generations. So they would have been worshipping, they would have been influenced by Egyptian culture. Okay, and they've just left Egypt. So many of those things will still be inside of them. Okay, so God is moving them away from that way of thinking. He's moving them away from that mentality that don't worship those gods anymore. I am your God and you are my people. You've seen what I've done to bring you out of Israel. Okay, so when they used to sacrifice, this is an assumption, but when they used to kill their animals to eat, goats, sheep, bulls, cows, they would have presumably been sacrificing or killing those animals while they were chanting to a god. Now God is telling them, don't do that anymore. You sacrifice or you kill your herds for me. And you do that sacrifice to me. And if not, and if you do not do that, these are the consequences. You've got to change the mentality. You've got to get them thinking right. Verse 10. Any man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who live as foreigners amongst them, who eats any kind of blood, I will set my face against that soul who eats blood and will cut him off from amongst his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood. I have given it to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement by reason of life. Therefore, I have said to the children of Israel, no person amongst you may eat blood, nor may a stranger who lives as a foreigner amongst you eat blood. Whatever man there is of the children of Israel, or of the strangers who live as foreigners amongst them, who takes in hunting any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For as to the life of all flesh, its blood is with its life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, you shall not eat the blood of any kind of flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Whoever eats it shall be cut off. Every person that eats what dies of itself, or that which is torn by animals, whether he is native born or foreigner, shall wash his clothes and bathe himself or bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Then he shall be clean, but if he doesn't wash them or bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. So these things are pretty clear. Don't eat animals that are already dead or have been torn apart by animals. And don't eat blood. That's what the Lord is telling them. And as I've explained before, if the Lord is telling you something, you don't need to know the reasons why. It's just worthwhile obeying. Okay? That's how I see it. It's just worthwhile obeying what the Lord tells you, because we're human. The Lord created us in his image, and it means us well. He wants us to see things his way. He wants us to be holy, because he said, I will turn you into a holy nation, and that all other nations will be blessed through you. But obviously, as we know, the Israelites had issues with that. And that's why I wanted to read the first 5 books. I wanted to understand, if at all one can understand, I wanted to know what it was that the Israelites were having issues with, and why were they doing the things that they had done. So it's important, because from where I'm sitting, these things don't look difficult to implement. They're not difficult to understand. Okay, so there must be, and I'm jumping forward a bit here, but as we're reading the Bible, as we're going through the Word, that means we believe in God. We believe in His Word. Okay, and we can now see the consequences that happened to the Israelites for not obeying His Word, for not listening. Okay, because at the beginning of Leviticus chapters 1 to 3, there were offerings that the Israelites could do for various sins. They could do individually, and there was an offering for the whole nation of Israel. So the Lord is a forgiving God. Now, He understands that man is man and he makes mistakes, but He allowed for that through the sin offerings and the wave offerings as well. We've gone through this, chapters 1 to 4. You can always go back to have a listen. So it's an amazement to me that the Israelites could not still get it right. And also that does show the power of the influence that Satan can have. So that's a major thing that we need to look out for as well. His influence, which is negative, which goes against the testaments, the commandments, and the announcements, and the other words. I'm just thinking of the word here. We'll probably come to it. The Lord's commandments, His laws, and the other things that He tells us that we should do. Okay, so it's important. We can learn from the Israelites and the other major players, the other sort of like King Solomon, King David, Samson, King Saul, men of valor, great men who the Lord brought forward to lead Israel. And, they just made errors and mistakes and went against the Lord's word, and either they or the generations after them suffered the consequences. So it's important. Chapter 18. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You shall not do as they do in the land of Egypt." There you go. "Where you lived, you shall not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. You shall not follow their statutes. You shall do my ordinances." That's the word I was looking for. "You shall keep my statutes and walk in them." I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my ordinances, which if a man does, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. "None of you shall approach any close relative to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother." That's having sex with them. "She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife. It is your father's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or born abroad. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your son's daughter or of your daughter's daughter, even their nakedness, for theirs is your own nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife, daughter, conceived by your father, since she is your sister. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's near king's woman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's near kin's woman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach his wife. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. You shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. There are near king's women. It is wickedness. You shall not take a wife in addition to her sister to be a rival to uncover her nakedness while her sister is still alive. You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is impure by her uncleanness. You shall not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself with her. Your neighbor, is not the guy that lives around your house next door to you. It's your fellow Israelite. And now that will be your fellow brother in Christ. Okay? Verse 21. You shall not give any of your children as a sacrifice to Molech. You shall not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not lie with a man as with a woman. That is detestable. You shall not lie with any animal, defile yourself with it. No woman may give herself to an animal to lie down with it. It is a perversion. Don't defile yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations which I am casting you out before you were defiled. Meaning that, oh, you're still looking. I'm so sorry, I was meant to have given you this. I've read it correctly though. But what I was going to say, which I mentioned earlier on, the things that the Lord is saying that they shouldn't do, when they were in the land of Egypt as slaves, the Egyptians were doing these things. And obviously that would have fed into the Israelites because, they were a minority there, even though they're slaves. They will be influenced by their culture. So the Lord is saying, stop, don't do these things anymore. That's quite clear. Verse 25, the land was defiled. Let me just read that again so that it just kind of flows. Let's make it flow. Don't defile yourselves in any of these things, for in all these, the nations which I am casting out before you were defiled. That's the nations that they were coming from Egypt to the nations, to the area where they're going, Canaan. The land was defiled. Therefore I punished its iniquity, and the land vomited out her inhabitants. You therefore shall keep my statutes and my ordinances, and shall not do any of these abominations. Neither the native born nor the stranger who lives as a foreigner amongst you, for the men of the land that were before you had done all these abominations, and the land became defiled. that the land not vomit you out also when you defile it, as it vomited out the nation that was before you. For whoever shall do any of these things, these abominations, even the souls that do them shall be cut off from amongst their people. Therefore you shall keep my requirements, that you do not practice any of these abominable customs which are practiced before you, and that you do not defile yourselves with them. I am the Lord your God. Those rules still apply today. So we need to take heed and take all of that into consideration. It's very important. That we do not defile ourselves, basically. It's there's something in one of Paul's letters where he's talking about things, and he says people lack self-control. So one of the things that we need to work on is to establish self-control so that one can avoid the temptation that will present itself in the instances that we just read. Okay? Very important. Very important. Because these are the things that the opposition to God, which is Satan and his demons, these are the things that they will want to tempt us into. Okay, anything that the Lord has said that is an ordinance or a statute or a commandment, he would want us to negate it and work against it, and he will promote those behaviors. Okay? Right, chapter 19. We've sped through this, haven't we? What, 32 minutes? Well, it's quite funny actually, because I've just realised this. Well, no, I haven't just. But some chapters are much longer than others. Okay, we've hit the shorter chapters now. But the ones previous to these ones, they were quite long. Like double the size of what we're going through now. So interesting, but they hit the mark, they hit the point. They're very important chapters, all of them. The Lord said to Moses, spoke to Moses, saying, speak to all the congregation of Israel, of the children of Israel, and tell them, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord, am your God. You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Verse 3. Each one of you shall respect his mother and his father. You shall keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Do not turn to idols, nor make molten gods for yourselves. I am the Lord your God. When you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord, you shall offer it so that you may be accepted. It shall be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the next day. If anything remains unto the third day, it shall be burnt with fire. If it is eaten at all on the third day, it is an abomination. It will not be accepted. But everyone who eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned the holy thing of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from his people. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest. You shall not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather the fallen grapes of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and for the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. You shall not steal, you shall not lie, you shall not deceive one another. You shall not swear by my name falsely and profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not oppress your neighbor, nor rob him. The wages of a hired servant shall not remain with you all night until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but you shall fear your God. I am the Lord. You shall do no injustice in judgment. You shall not be partial to the poor, nor show favoritism to the great, but you shall judge your neighbor in righteousness. You shall not go around as a slanderer amongst your people. You shall not endanger the life of your neighbor. I am the Lord. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall surely rebuke your neighbor and not bear sin because of him. You shall not take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. You shall keep my statutes. You shall not crossbreed different kinds of animals. You shall not sow your field with two kinds of seed. Don't wear a garment made of two kinds of material. If a man lies carnally with a woman who is a slave girl pledged to be married to another man, and not ransomed or given her freedom, they shall be punished. They shall not be put to death because she was not free. He shall not bring her his trespass offering to the Lord, to the door of the tent of meeting, even a ram for a trespass offering. The priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord for his sin which he has committed. The sin which he has committed shall be forgiven. When you come into the land and have planted all kinds of trees for food, then you shall count their fruit as forbidden. For 3 years it shall be forbidden to you, it shall not be eaten. But in the 4th year all its fruit shall be holy, for giving praise to the Lord. In the 5th year you shall eat its fruit, and it may yield its increase to you. I am the Lord. You shall not eat any meat with the blood still in it. You shall not use enchantments, nor practice sorcery. So no witchcraft. You shall not cut the hair on the sides of your head, or clip off the edge of your beard. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor tattoo any marks on you. I am the Lord. Don't profane your daughter to make her a prostitute, lest the land fall into prostitution and the land become full of wickedness. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Don't turn to those who are mediums, nor to the wizards. Don't seek them out or be defiled by them. I am the Lord. You shall rise up before the grey-haired and honor the face of the elderly. You shall fear your God. I am the Lord. If a stranger lives as a foreigner with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. The stranger who lives as a foreigner with you shall be to you as a native born amongst you, and you shall treat him as yourself, for you lived as foreigners in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in measures of length, of weight, or of quantity. You shall have just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You shall observe all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them. I am the Lord. Chapter 20. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Moreover, you shall tell the children of Israel, any one of the children of Israel, or of the strangers who live as foreigners in Israel, who gives any of his offspring to Molech, shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone that person with stones. I also will set my face against that person, and will cut him off from amongst the people, because he has given of his offspring to Molech, to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. If the people of the land all hide their eyes from that person when he gives of his offspring to Molech, and don't put him to death, then I will set my face against the man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all who play the prostitute after him to play the prostitute with Molech from amongst their people. The person who turns to those who are mediums and wizards to play the prostitute after them, I will even set my face against that person and will cut him off from amongst his people. Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God, you shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sanctifies you. For anyone who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon himself. The man who commits adultery with another man's wife, even he who commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. The man who lies with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon themselves. If a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have committed a perversion. Their blood shall be upon themselves. If a man lies with a male, as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon themselves. If a man takes a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there may be no wickedness amongst you. I'm assuming with the wickedness amongst them, these kind of behaviors can spread. You know, once one person does it and nothing happens, then another person does it, then it can become commonplace. Or they say, well, there are no real consequences to behaving like this. Okay, but there are. If a man lies with an animal, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal and lies with it, you shall kill the woman and the animal. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man takes a sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and sees her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is a shameful thing. They shall be cut off in the sight of the children of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He shall bear his iniquity. If a man lies with a woman having her monthly period and uncovers her nakedness, he has made her fountain naked, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Both of them shall be cut off from amongst their people. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor of your father's sister. For he has made his close relative naked. They shall bear their iniquity. If a man lies with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. If a man takes his brother's wife, it is an impurity. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them, that the land where I am bringing you to dwell may not vomit you out. It's interesting that, is it a euphemism that they've used when they say the land will vomit you out? That's quite a strong statement. The land will reject you, as it did when the 10 tribes were deported, and they never returned. And the other 2 tribes, Israel and Benjamin, were deported to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar. I've said that wrongly. So these are the things, that was Esther, wasn't it? These are the things that, the land will vomit you out, and they were vomited out. Eventually. Verse 23, you shall not walk in the customs of the nation which I am casting out before you. Okay, so the occupants of Canaan, they were doing these things, and they were being vomited out of the land to make it vacant for Israel. For they did all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said to you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it to you to possess it, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has separated you from the peoples. Maybe that was the reason why, I don't know. But we just read here, I am the Lord your God, who has separated I am the Lord your God, is highlighted there in yellow, who has separated you from the peoples. I was just about to say, that's why they were sent to Egypt in the first place and became slaves, and now that they're released. But by the Lord's word that he's just told them, that's how he's separating from the people, so that they will be separate from them. Totally different vibe. Nothing similar at all. Unique. In a world that existed at that time. Verse 25. You shall therefore make a distinction between the clean animal and the unclean, and between the unclean fowl and the clean. You shall not make yourselves abominable by animal or by bird or by anything with which the ground teems, which I have separated from you as unclean for you. You shall be holy to me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have set you apart from the peoples, that you should be mine. So technically, the other peoples of the world are not the Lord's. They're what? Of the devil. Okay? It's good to, from my perspective, we really need to focus on that point. Those other people in existence at that time, they're not of the Lord, they're of the devil. The Lord has specifically taken the Israelites and made them his people amongst the world of heathens. And he's now given them commandments, statutes, and ordinances that they may now live and abide by, that will separate them from all other peoples. Because they're God's people, and they will be a holy nation, because the Lord is what? Holy. Is Satan holy? No. So what were the people who are Satan's people, or who worship Satan, what would they be doing? Things that the Lord said are what? Abominable. That he detests. And one day he will what? Vomit them out of the land. That's my understanding of what we're being told, just in these verses and in the chapters that we've just read. Verse 27, a man or woman that is a medium or is a wizard shall surely be put to death. They shall be stoned with stones, their blood shall be upon themselves. So, medium or wizards, they see the future, don't they? The mediums. Wizards, they do witchcraft and magic, don't they? They cast spells. In whose name? Clearly it's not in the Lord's name. It's in whose name? Satan's name. So what does Satan know the future? Well, of course, because his people are talking to him. He may actually frame that future, so what he's saying comes true. Okay, so I wouldn't cavort with them. I wouldn't, go there and give them money, say, okay, tell me my future, tell me what my issues are. Because I assume nothing good comes out of their mouths. Nothing good. Nothing good will come out of their mouths. Not one thing. Wow. I found that really interesting. There's a lot going on there. If you have time, I would say read it again just to think about it. Let it flow through your body so that you can understand what the Lord is saying. And it will also give you an understanding about where we're living today. The lifestyles people have chosen. It does educate us, doesn't it? Okay, so we're unique. We want to be separate from what the Lord is saying. Some of these, the things in Leviticus are, the sacrifices, we don't do them anymore. But what we've just read are moral codes that we should abide by. It's very important. Very, very important. So if you're thinking about it, if you're having problems, if you want to discuss it further, feel free to comment in the section or feel free to contact me via email. That's fine. But these 4 chapters we've just read, they're really important. They really stuck a moral point with me, and it's something that you should consider abiding by. All right? This has been a real pleasure. It's been very educational. Yeah. Well, I'm going to like to thank you my viewers. It's been fantastic. Had a great time. Really nice speaking to you. It's been really cool actually. So I actually hope to do a live stream later today. So that will take in chapters. That will keep me on track. And that will take in chapters 20 to 24. Or sorry, 21 to 24. Yeah, so if not later today, then on Saturday. All right, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me for this live stream, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Good night. Bye.